So we've set up the domain name, we've set up the hosting. Now we've got to go set up WordPress. And so it's just a step 1, step 2, step 3. And you're going to love this because you'll see how quickly we're running through these things. You're like, oh, I've done all this and it's taken me 20 minutes. We are now at the hosting page. I've set up the hosting on my side, and we have this screen here that says, please visit the site later. It's under construction. So that means everything is working now. The hosting is set up. Now I've just got to go and install WordPress. So I will go to the C panel, which is just the control panel. I'll type in my password and username, and so here it is. I'll save that so that I don't have to keep typing it in. And then you have this control panel that has a lot of information. On this control panel, you can actually set up a personal email account, and we'll do that later. But for now, we're just going to keep going through our process, and we're going to set up WordPress. WordPress is down here under your Softaculous apps installer. So when I set up WordPress, I love it because WordPress is a content management software or tool. It started out as being a great tool for bloggers, but over time there's been plugins added to it, and it can be used for a number of different things. And at one time, years ago, there was over 72 million sites using WordPress. I'm sure it's a much larger number than that now, but it's powerful. There are other tools out there, Expression Engine, you could use Wix, you could use Squarespace, but the reason I use WordPress is because of its scalability. If you start with one other platform, sometimes you don't have as much control over your content. And so if you want to be like, this is my business, I don't want anybody else for me to have to go to them to get access to it, have my data. I like knowing where all my stuff is. So I love using WordPress for this reason. And I know the scalability. You can have 10 users or you can have 10 million users. WordPress can still handle both. And if you decide later that you need to have something custom created, there's a lot of developers out there. There's a lot of things that you can use. So it saves you time, it saves you money. It's awesome. So we'll install WordPress, and it's a super simple process. Right now, it says choose installation URL. It has in here HTTP. I usually go ahead and drop it down and add the www on there. It'll work either way. The site name, Golden Gorilla Bakery. And then the site description. For me, I like to put something in there, giant baked goods. And then possibly a pipe, and then the location of the city, so Denton, Texas. There's this thing here that says enable multi-site. You'll leave that unchecked. WordPress is awesome because you can actually split it up into multiple sites under one domain. So it's like I can have a site within a site within a site. I had a client that used that functionality and it works great, but for today's purposes, we won't use that, and you probably won't need that type of functionality when you're first setting up your business. Username. I use the same username that I use whenever I set up the hosting. Password. And then down here, there's a box that says Classic Editor. WordPress recently released, I believe it's called the Gutenberg Editor, and it has these drag and drop boxes in there that are great if you're just starting with a blog or something, but I do not like them, so always check this Classic Editor box. You don't need the limit login attempts or the WP Central, all that. You just ignore that. And then click Install. So that was it. WordPress is installed. It gives you a couple of URLs over here, and this is the one that's important is anytime you have a WordPress installation, it's whatever your domain name is, and then WP-admin, so WordPress admin right after that. So we'll go there now. We'll type in our username and password. And then we're at the WordPress dashboard. So now that WordPress is installed, we can move on to the theme. This is the part where we really start getting creative.